Oh, looky here, looky here, looky here. We're gonna be making millions tonight, say. We're gonna be making millions. Where Peckham's gone, I'm telling you, nothing can beat us now after infiltrating Whole Cake Island. How's it going there, everyone? It's Mr. Zen over here, bringing you guys another One Piece chapter discussion. And for today's segment, folks, we're going to be talking about chapter 834, guys. Now, I personally was very fond of this chapter, guys, because of the fact that throughout this whole entire chapter, guys, we're just bombarded with just so much information, guys, that clearly Oda is giving us so much love and attention for us. Because when you're reading this chapter, guys, a lot of events were unfolding in itself, and they were all linear at the same time. So clearly Oda is clearly already starting to actually progress the story arc in itself after this chapter, as even side characters are actually getting many panels on themselves. We're clearly getting some very mysteries involved in this chapter. We're getting Capone involved in this, Ceasar, you know, we're getting Sanji, we're getting Luffy. It's just so, you know, Randolph the Rabbit. You know, it's just so many things that are happening right now at Whole Cake Island that it feels like Whole Cake Island, like, it was just the brink of what we've just been reading. Now we're actually going to get started into the actual main cast of the arc itself. And you're here wondering, like, wait a minute, that was just all the beginning of Whole Cake Island? That was all just the introduction? That was all just basically just Oda himself just explaining how the Whole Cake Island looks like and giving the world view of it, you know? And you're here wondering from the reader's perspective, you know, that wow, you know, this arc in itself could actually last just as long as Dressrosa, because of the fact that so many events are unfolding, that little mini arcs in itself are going to be happening right there. And I, for one, am fond of this chapter, guys. I, for one, am very, very fond of it. Now, this chapter also had action, romance, drama, and suspense, guys. Now, that clearly says a lot in Oda, because the fact when you're reading, guys, you're going to get lost in this chapter, and you're going to be also thinking about the fact that, you know, I can't believe I just read that as one chapter. You're clearly thinking that this is not one chapter. This is clearly like at least 2 chapters of Oda's work, at least. But clearly Oda bombarded all of that as one chapter in order to make up for the last chapter that we couldn't see from last week. And now, Oda, you clearly are a mastermind, guys. He is clearly a mastermind. But guys, let's get to this actual chapter itself, because of the fact that we don't want to dwindle away at its epicness itself. Now, the chapter did start off with Sanji reminiscing about, you know, what his talk with Judge and Reiju, and talk about, you know, how his hands are actually his precious, you know, most valued possession, you know, because of, you know, he's a cook for the Straw Hat Luffy members. And now, in reality, though, Sanji's father, Judge Vinsmoke, he saw that weakness and said, you know what, you can go back to Luffy, only with your arms cut off. And clearly, the chapter lasted off of that, and Sanji's reminiscing the fact that he's clearly thinking of a plan in order for himself to, I would say, escape from Whole Cake Island and not go along with the marriage. But clearly Sanji is just stuck in a rut, and he's clearly irritated at the fact that he can't do nothing about it. He can't do anything about it, guys. And that's kind of sad in itself, because the fact that Sanji's is a strategic person, and he's always thinking ahead. But at this point, guys, I feel like Sanji is also kind of giving up hope too, because of the fact that he's fighting a whole army, and there's no one there to kind of help him out. It's just a one-man army against everybody else. And now clearly Luffy and Co are clearly going to be helping out Sanji in itself. But guys, that's just the beginning of the chapter right there. That was just Sanji's little reminiscent part right there. And I'm clearly thinking, like, man, no, I kind of feel sorry. You kind of feel sympathetic towards Sanji. But then the arc then shifts into another scene, guys, and we shift into Brook and Pedro's scene. Now, with these 2 characters, guys, they are very comedic in itself, guys. You know, Pedro's a very serious guy, and Brook has his serious moments, but when these 2 are blended together, they give off a very, very good vibe, guys. Another fact that Pedro himself is, you know, he's a very stealthy guy, and it's funny that in this chapter, he's not really seen as as a very stealthy, but he's constantly yelling at Brook, come here, come here, come here, and while they're traversing through the freaking sweet town. And I'm laughing at the fact that also that Brook is also noticing the events that are unfolding, because the fact that when they're actually showcasing Brook and Pedro themselves on the island, Jinbei is actually shown as a weakling in the entirety of Whole Cake Island. And the reason is because the fact that since Jinbei is leaving to join the Straw Hat members, Big Mom is trying to make him look like a weak character in order for her power to stay on top. Because basically, she doesn't want to make she doesn't want her name tampered with, you know, with Jinbei leaving. Because Jinbei is actually an ex-Shikabubukai, so his name means a lot in the whole world itself. So by, you know, Jinbei joined the Straw Hat members, she wants him, like I said, they're kind of doing the same thing with Sanji. They want to tarnish these people. They don't want them to come back as you know, very well deserved people. They want to come back as injured people in order to say, like, you know, okay, you know, you guys can get the table scraps of the desserts that we just had. Think of it like that. And that's what I'm kind of seeing that Big Mom is trying to do to Jinbei. She's trying to tarnish his name and his reputation in itself, and that's kind of sad itself. And Brook kind of pointed out too that he said, you know, I can't believe that Jinbei's doing this just for us, and I love that. Brook is also, you know, like I said, he has a serious moment to himself, and in these couple panels, Brook has been showcasing that. But and also with Pedro himself, guys, Pedro is also shown to be showing a little bit of mystery, and it seems to me that it feels like he even knows Tamago himself. Now, clearly, Pedro himself, guys, he clearly must have been involved with Big Mom himself. I am clearly thinking that maybe there's something between the three of these guys, that something must have happened back in the past. And maybe in the next couple of chapters, we're going to get involved as to say what is going to happen between, what did happen between Pedro, Peckoms, and freaking Tamago. I mean, come on. We all are very curious as us readers as to what happened between these characters. Because Pedro is keeping it silent. But sooner or later, it's going to come out. And also the fact, guys, in this chapter, we're clearly getting to see that Pudding is not actually a traitor, guys. She proved me wrong. I personally thought Pudding was a traitor. I thought she actually sent Straw Hat and the Coke over there to the Seducing Woods as a trap. But clearly, no. Clearly, Big Mom is actually, I would say, spying and keeping a watchful eye on Pudding. Because in this chapter, it kind of emphasizes the fact that Pudding is trying to escape from Tamago's eyes in order to go help out Luffy. But Tamago is keeping Pudding trapped by the, you know, the wedding charade that's going on right now. So Pudding can't really escape the grasp of Tamago right there in itself. And it's so hilarious because clearly Big Mom is, I feel like they're all, the minute they just came to Whole Cake Island, that's just it. They just stepped right into her traps. Big Mom is literally winning right now. And Luffy and Co. are kind of losing because of the fact that they're kind of separated in the entirety of the chapter, slowly bit by bit. Now I'm hoping that Brook and Pedro don't get separated as well because of the fact that with all separate, that's when they're going to actually lose. I mean, come on, look at Jinbei right now. Jinbei is actually, we don't even know what's going on with Jinbei right now. Clearly in the newspaper, it says that, you know, it looks like he's not even hurt or anything. They're just saying just like horrible things about his name. That's about it. But we're just hoping that nothing towards his you know, actual health has caused nothing. We're just hoping for that though. But that's just then the second event that unfolds. Then we move on to another event, guys. And we move on to Peckoms. And in this chapter, it actually finally led us to answers as to where Peckoms went. And clearly, Capone Bege stole Peckoms. Because of the fact that back on Soul Island, clearly Capone was not in favor of Peckoms' actions. And now Peckoms is actually paying the price because Capone clearly sees Peckoms as a weak character. He shows sympathy and feelings towards the Straw Hat members, and you know, as assassins or killers or whatever, you know, pirates that they righteous are, they're not supposed to showcase any of those feelings. And you're clearly thinking, you know, wow, Capone, I understand that, but come on, you gotta have some morality. And it's funny because Capone he has a child now. He's married to one of the like, I believe it was Lola. He's married to Lola, guys, and has a kid. And it's funny the fact that he's telling Peckoms all about that while he has a kid. And I'm like, you're thinking that's contradicting right there. That was like a very huge contradiction in itself, guys. Like, why would you be telling Peckoms that? And it's also funny too that he actually took the lie. It looks clearly from this part in this scene. It clearly looked as if Peckoms literally got shot to death by Capone. It was like a Valentine's Day massacre right there in itself, guys. Capone was literally, he shot him, and it's oh my god, it's just too much for words, guys. That Peckoms was also handcuffed with, I don't know if it was if he had the sea prism stones or something, because you know clearly Peckoms won't be able to swim when he got shot, and he just fell down in the water, and you're clearly thinking like, you know, what the heck, Capone, man? At least show some sympathy, or at least turn him over to Big Mom. So clearly in this chapter, Capone himself is actually doing some events that he himself is doing on the side just for him, for his pride. And clearly Capone is going to be a major villain in this arc as well, because of the fact that I personally feel Capone, he's out to do something for himself. He's out to make a name for himself under Big Mom's name, kind of like Blackbeard. That's what Capone is kind of doing. He's trying to make a name for himself under a big pirate Yonko in order to get his own spotlight. And remember, guys, Broker himself is actually you know, in jail right now. So clearly someone has to be the underground king, and clearly he probably might fill in that case right there. He probably might fill that seat, guys. We don't know yet for sure. But Capone, we have to be on the lookout for this character. Clearly he's out to do something. He clearly wants to do something. And I personally, and also, why do that to Peckoms? Why couldn't he tell Big Mom about it? But it also kind of goes back to the couple panels before, as to say that Tamago knew that this was coming. So basically, Tamago himself kind of agreed on the fact that Peckoms should have been shot to death. Which kind of clearly goes to say maybe Big Mom was a part of this too. Like some kind of influence to say that Peckoms should go away. And that kind of says a lot, guys. Like, damn, you know, like I said, a lot of events are unfolding slowly bit by bit. And that's crazy right there in this chapter, guys. And that's not just the end of the freaking chapter, guys. There's still more to come after that, guys. We clearly get another event, guys. Then the story shifts on to Ceasar, guys. And then from Ceasar, we're clearly looking at the fact that he's talking to Big Mom. You know, he's explaining to her, you know, I've been trying to, you know, do the gigantification. Sorry, guys, can't even pronounce that. The giant experiment that he's been working on back on Punk Hazard. He clearly was kind of hindered by Straw Hat Luffy, and he was kind of basically kind of just asking for forgiveness. You know, can you forgive? Like basically he's on his knees asking for everyone, like almost as to say, don't kill me. You know, it's not my fault. And clearly Ceasar himself is being showcased as a coward, but at the same time he's always thinking ahead too. He's not, everything that he's saying is also. He's also putting like chess pieces on the playing field, guys. Because clearly Ceasar wants to do something. And it's funny how they kind of shown his tone change too. Clearly Ceasar also used the big funds that he got from Big Mom in order to fund the experiments that he's been working on. And it's so hilarious the fact that he spent it all on women, not on the experiment itself. So technically it kind of shows off his goofy side in the chapter itself. That, you know, it's kind of funny that the fact that it is also his own fault. So it's not technically Luffy's fault himself. It just kind of goes to show, you know, that, you know, he's human. You know, he's not a working robot. You know, he has ambition, but come on, he's got to have his own fun time as well. And that clearly showcased right there, and it's all on Ceasar's behalf. And it's hilarious also too the fact that Ceasar himself he's basically lying to Big Mom. He's clearly lying to her. And you're kind of feeling some kind of sympathy towards Ceasar, because his lies are gonna get him. It's just not gonna go anywhere from this kind of arc itself. I mean, come on, he's gonna have a short time to finish the experiment, because of the fact that Big Mom wants to actually create I would say a giant family, like a very broad family, and she wants to do like a giant teacup ceremony with all the family members of every race in itself. You know, that's not a very bad dream, to be honest. What Charlotte is actually thinking right there, that Yonko is actually having a very beautiful idea, you know, having a huge kind of family right there. But at the same time, you know, the way she's kind of doing it is just kind of very, very cynical in itself right there. But guys, come on, man. Maybe she has that kind of tunnel vision that she's not clearly seeing the bigger picture, and clearly seeing that because she wants to stand out amongst all the other races. So basically she's kind of trying to be the queen of the world by making themselves stand out as well. So clearly there are some dark elements involved in the Yonko's dream itself. It's not necessarily a bad dream. It's just that the way she's kind of showcasing it's kind of like, it's kind of going, ooh, just a little sketchy on the side. But guys, come on. But like I said, Ceasar himself is even showcasing character progression right there in this chapter, because of the fact that, you know, we're going to be showcasing simply because of the fact that we're introduced to another character of Big Mom's, I would say, family members. And this character itself, guys, it's clearly the eldest son. And he ate a strange fruit, the lick fruit. Now, we don't know what this fruit can do. We don't know what its powers behold. But clearly it's something to be fearful, because of the fact that freaking Ceasar was afraid. He's being held hostage right now, and he clearly has to finish the work that he has. And Big Mom is basically giving the funds, but clearly Ceasar can't goof around no more, and he clearly has to do it now. And I'm loving the fact that that character that they showcase, perospero, or something along the line like that, the character they kind of showcase, he kind of reminds me of Willy Wonka, who ate the, you know, the lick fruit. And I'm like thinking, like, you know, wow, you know, a huge reference to Willy Wonka right there in itself. And it's hilarious, the fact too that this character, his devil fruit ability might not seem wacky. It could actually be battle oriented, because remember, with males, a lot of their, I would say, their devil fruit abilities are always battle oriented. With females, on the other hand, you know, we're actually getting to see a little bit more, I would say, with quirky animations and attributes for devil fruit abilities. But with males, it's always battle-oriented. So clearly the lick fruit clearly has to be a battle-oriented one. So what I'm thinking and proposing as well for this new character they introduced, the lick fruit probably might have to do something with the sweets involved. If he eats sweets, he'll clearly get stronger. That's what I'm personally thinking. So it has to be something battle-oriented. It can't be that he turns people into candy. That just seems something that a woman, that's like a woman would do. I don't know. I just don't see a male character kind of doing that, parading around the battlefield and just licking everybody, turning into candy. I don't know. I just personally don't see that myself. I don't know. Oda has his own style of writing, and for males, it's always a battle-oriented abilities. And clearly, it has to be something to do with the sugar of the candy itself, guys. That's what I'm personally thinking. But like I said, guys, it could be another twist, guys. It could be another twist. Maybe the lick fruit might have to be something with just the tongue itself. Maybe the tongue is just a long tongue. Maybe that could just be it. Like I said, Oda has his own way of doing his own style of writing, and sometimes it could be trolling us, you know, in a good sense, of course. Not like Tite Kubo's status, but Oda's style is more like, oh, you know, I didn't think of it like that, you know. That's the kind of style that we're kind of hoping for. But then again, we then continue after that, guys. After Caesar's involvement, which, by the way, Ceasar clearly could be the next Nakama, but at the same time, you kind of don't, because at the same time, in this chapter, he's just showcasing to be a very coward. Whenever a Nakama for the Straw Hat member comes out, they're not really showcased as cowards. Maybe Usopp, but I don't know. I just don't see Ceasar now kind of being a Nakama, because of the fact that he's too selfish. He's way too selfish. Unless his character progression later on as the series goes on, maybe he's gonna have a change of heart in order to say, you know, maybe I need to stop serving Big Mom and maybe join another pirate group. Maybe. I could be wrong, guys. But like I said, but then now we're going to the last event, guys, and at the last event, we're clearly heading towards, I would say, Luffy, back at Luffy at the Seducing Woods, and clearly Luffy, somebody is cloning Luffy's company right there. You know, Carrots, Chopper, and Nami. They're all being cloned right there in itself in the Seducing Woods, and Luffy's captured like about 10 of them, and they're all acting like animals. And, you know, it's kind of hilarious at the fact that it's clearly Randolph the Rabbit. It's clearly him. Because the fact that his devil fruit ability might be an awakened, a Zoan ability. We don't know yet for sure, guys. But I'm personally thinking that it's probably Randall's work right there. It can't be Brulee's, because Brulee's was more of a... Well, actually, a second thought, I actually changed my mind. It actually could be Brulee. But I'm also putting Randall there. I'm putting my 2 cents on Randall itself, because of the fact that we still don't know too much about Randall himself. But, like I said, Brulee could also be another villain that itself that's actually trying to trick Luffy in itself. Maybe she's keeping Luffy occupied while she's handling Nami and the rest of them. because the fact that the chapter the last chapter did leave off with just brutally just holding Nami hostage. But like I said, guys, anything's possible in the One Piece universe right now. But like I said, like everything is every bits and pieces coming together, guys, and the whole arc is actually unfolding itself now. But like I said, guys, let me know now down in the comments below what you guys thought about this chapter. It's like there was so much to talk about, guys. Like I said, there was just so much freaking drama. Oh my god. Ugh. But like I said, guys, let me know down in the comments what you guys thought about this chapter. What was your favorite scene in this chapter? What do you guys think of Al Capone, guys? Al Capone, like I said, I really clearly think he's out to do something for himself, guys. I'm sorry, not Al Capone. Capone Bege. Sorry about that. What is Capone Bege doing for himself in this chapter? Because I am perceiving that he's someone that is looking out only for himself, and he's trying to get a lot of influence under Big Mom himself. Clearly, Capone is trying to rise up the ranks of Big Mom's crew. That's the way I see it. He's trying to rise up there. By slowly taking him down, he's trying to get that second in command. I mean, he already joined the family itself. So what more can he possibly do? Maybe he wants to get in charge of the Smile Factory that Big Mom is currently having. Maybe he wants to deal with something along the lines of that. Like I said, guys, what do you guys think about Pudding's relationship now with the Straw Hat members? I personally got shocked now. She is not a traitor, guys. This chapter confirmed it. But what do you guys think? Do you guys think that she's not a traitor? And also, guys, what do you think, guys, about Jinbei, man? Jinbei is now seen as like a weakling, man. That is horrible in itself. He is being publicized as a weakling, guys. So what do you guys think? Is he actually hurt? Is he locked up? Did he lose his life? You know, there's so much speculation going on in this chapter, guys. And also, what do you guys think about Peckoms? I'm sorry for forgetting about Peckoms, guys. Do you guys still think he's alive? Personally, I think he might be alive. You know, they might bust like some kind of like Deus Ex Machina that something might have caught him at the same time. You know, that something along the lines of that. But like I said, guys, let me know down in the comments what you guys thought of this chapter. And if you guys enjoyed my content, guys, give a like, comment, share, and subscribe, guys. But this is Mr. Zen signing out.